everyone, this is Carolyn from Known as Nutty Crafts. How are you all doing today? I have another quick recipe for you. You know, over the Christmas holidays, we like to do ham for Christmas, and we'll do for Easter too. And what we like to make is the ham sliders. So here I have some of my ham left over. It was a spiral ham, pre-cooked, pre-sliced, so you just need to heat it up, put the little seasoning on it. I have Swiss cheese. I like to get it this way. I don't like to pasteurize as much. Worcestershire sauce. You can get the low sodium one as well. Brown sugar. Dijon mustard, but I like using this mustard. The Golden's mustard, a little bit of a spice to it. And of course your Hawaiian, King Hawaiian rolls. Now this one here, I have the small one here, but I've already done a bigger one, the double size, because you know, this is for family. So we're gonna get started with what we need to do. The first thing I do is I keep the cardboard container until I'm ready to cook. And I'll put it on a cookie sheet and I'll cook it, it's just basically until the cheese melts on it. So at 375, maybe about 15 minutes, give or take, depending on your oven. I take the whole thing out. I like to freeze it first because then it's easier when I cut it. So what I've done, I've cut off just the top layer of it, so to speak, and I flip that over. Now I started this one already. I've taken some of my ham pieces and I've gone ahead and put it on top. It's like playing Tetra. You gotta figure out the pieces as you go. So I have my cutting board here, and what I do is I try to take the bigger of the slices out because it's easier than taking little chunks and pieces out, which you can too. And I first want to take off any of that excess fat that may be on here, the outside, the grizzle, whatever. Let me put my glasses back on. And that's the first thing I try to do when I make this. Then I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to lay the pieces on here. I try to lay them so that they stay on the roll, not like hanging off to the side, because I don't like that, you know. Gotta be a little organized. So there's the other grizzle or fat on the side. What I hate is if you bite into it and you're trying to pull it, you know, because of the fat being on there. That's the one thing I try not to do when I make these. So I'm just gonna lay pieces of this on so it fills up the whole roll. So whether I make them square cut, whether I make them rectangle cut, however, so that the whole roll has meat on it. Nothing worse than getting a roll and there's nothing on it. That would be heartbreaking. Oops, my piece fell down there. Okay, so that end, I think that, no, we need a little bit more right there. Just want a little piece right there. So once we got all our ham on, let me get rid of this grizzly stuff. Cover up the ham. I had a towel here. All right. I needed my knife still. Hold on. Okay. So then I'm going to take my Swiss cheese. Try to take a couple at a time. Let me move that out of the way. And I'm just going to slice it to make it into quarters. Oops, I took a piece of ham off of somebody. And then what I'm going to do is just take these, because these are the perfect size just to put on top of the ham on each sandwich. And of course, you're always going to have an odd number left over when you do that. You could fold it in half and do it. I just like to cut it. Makes it go a little quicker. don't know why it would be an odd number, you would think, because it's even numbers slices, but I'm gonna have 3/4 of the cheese left over. So what I'm gonna do here is replace this. Then I'm gonna put this, for right now, it's gonna go back in the bag because I'm not gonna put all the butter, the Worcestershire, and the brown sugar on it just quite yet. All right, and this is gonna go back in the refrigerator till I'm ready to go ahead and cook it. Okay, so now we're gonna get ready to make kind of the sauce or the topping for the ham sliders. So the first thing you're gonna do is take 1 stick of butter and melt it. It's hard to see, it's melted. We got our, instead of using Dijon mustard, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Golden's mustard, your Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder. You can do onions in this if you want to, like a minced onion would be okay. As well as poppy seeds. I'm not doing poppy seeds because some of the kids don't like it. So I'm gonna use a little bit of garlic you can use on there, your brown sugar as well. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we'll take some, I always do the dry ingredients before I do the wet ingredients so I can use my spoon a couple of times. I almost forgot what I was gonna do. All right, so we're gonna do the brown sugar, which is just a teaspoon of sugar. Make some medicine go down. And I'm using regular teaspoons so that if you don't have measuring cups, this is easy for you. Brown sugar is done. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of, this is the garlic powder. I may do 1.5, again, because the kids, we'll do 1.5 just because the kids don't like all the spicy stuff. And my dogs are playing in the background. You know how that goes. We're gonna do a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Done with that. And we're gonna do a tablespoon of this. I shook it up so it's coming out really quick on this end. And then what we're going to do here is just mix it up. So when in putting this on, you can take one of your basting brushes and just paint it on. And that's all that this is going to do on top of the rolls. Got to get that mustard off of my spoon. Let's go like that. And then you have something that looks like mustard. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on. Okay, so now we're back to do the finishing touches on our ham sliders. So in this bowl here, which is our little mixture, everything is gonna be, I'll tell you, as a single. If you were just doing 12 of these, I've doubled it. So as a single, it would be 3/4 a cup of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now you can buy the sodium one as well if you don't want it as much, in it. 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds. Now I'm not putting poppy seeds on it because kids don't like it as much. And of course your cheese, your ham, and all on the bread. So this you're gonna just take, and you're just gonna take your basting brush and just go over the top of this, and this is just going to soak into your roll as it's baking. The oven is set at 350. If you want, you could put it at 375 for about 15 minutes. All you're doing, because the ham is already pre-cooked, is you're heating it up and you're just waiting for the cheese to melt, is really all that you're doing on this. So just keep that in mind. And let me just go around again. And with the poppy seeds being basted in this, it will just go on top, just as seeds on a bread. But like I said, I chose not to. So I have 24 here overall. And if you don't use the whole thing, that's fine. Now it's ready to go in the oven So here we go. And I'm going to pop mine in for about 15 minutes as well. Just enough to get it warm. Good. So thanks for coming to Nona's Nutty Crafts.